What's up guys, it's Jamie and Sam, and today's video, this is our first video. It's going to be about the first time that we purchased weed, or the devil's lettuce as some would call it. So basically my story takes place about 5 months ago, I'd say now, like around January, February. And basically I was really against doing it. I have no idea why. I think it was probably because I overheard one of our teachers saying that would make your dick not work or something. I just thought, fuck that. So then, basically I had this dream about one of our friends who smokes all the time, and for some reason he was just in Sainsbury's and I just saw him, and he just brings out this little like bag of weed and he just gets, and then when my room is like laid up, I have a window that opens up really wide. I just imagined, like I just dreamt about me just smoking it out there. So I just go to Sam like the next day in school and I'm like, hey, do you want to get some weed? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? So then I get a dealer's number off someone in our school, and then later on that day, I think it was a Friday, I rung him up and I asked to buy 20s. So then, right, we were in the skate park, and I just rung him up and I was like, yo, can I get 20s back? And they were like, yeah, sure, just come around the back. Do you know where it is? And I said yeah, because my friends knew where it was. So then we walked over there, and I was pretty nervous this whole time because one of our friends at the time, well, he kind of still is like one of our friends, but not so much, because basically he's just pretty much a dickhead. And he basically told us all these stories about how they had a massive black bodyguard with a baseball bat. And keeping in mind, this was dark and cold.
And bear in mind that the area that this person is in is not one of the nicest areas of our town.
Like, this is the scummy part. Like, every town has this part where you know there are some wrong-uns that live in there. Like, some real rough-looking fuckers. So then we walk probably about 5-10 minutes away from the skate park to get to this person's house. And then we ring them up because we were at the house where they thought that they were at. And it was just like, yo, we're standing by the orange house, is this yours? And they're like, no. What you need to do is you need to go down the alley, and this was some fucking long alley, bearing in mind, like it's probably in the daylight, it's not that long, but when you was fucking first time getting it and it was dark and you didn't know this person, it's fucking sketchy. So I walked down. None of the other two wanted to get it. They were like, nah, fuck this, man, you can do it. So I was like, fine, you guys are fucking pussies. So I walked down this alleyway and it just leads to this field. And then I rung them up again and I was like, where is this? I'm just standing in a field. And they're like, hold on, I'll just switch on the porch light for you. And I thought that it was like some other porch light that was on. So I just start walking through this like fucking stinging nettles and brambles bush, like cutting up all my legs and getting stung. And I see this light like 100 meters away in the cold field, and I'm like, oh fucking hell. So I just walk like really slowly there, and my heart is just fucking jumping out of my chest. I thought I was going to get mugged by some fucking massive black guy with a bat. And I go there, and it's just this really nice, calm, chill person, and I get it. And then I walk back across the field and I meet up to them, and I was like, yo, check it out, is this good? Like, because I didn't know at the time. And they were like, yeah, it's pretty good. So then basically, like, I was going to stay over Sam's that night. We was going to smoke it. And then basically I had to get in a car with both my parents, and I had 2 grams of weed in my shoe, and it smelled so bad. And I'm pretty sure they could smell it. Like, that's a pretty interesting story, and I'll save that for another time.
So moving on to my story of the first time buying weed. It weren't so daring and sketchy as Jamie's one, but mine was just such a pain in the arse that it kind of put me off doing it for quite a while. But once we found this dealer that Jamie's talking about, then it kind of started from there, because it became much easier to get and it was a lot better stuff than we was getting. But pretty much how this story goes is, me and my friend Charlie, we were like big fans of Wiz Khalifa and all those type of rappers, and we always heard about them smoking weed, and we'd always wanted to do it. And the time come, and it was kind of around year 9, which is how old? 14 years old. And we've heard of some kids in our year started smoking it, because one time I was in a food technology class, which is where you kind of like cook stuff, and my friend took me over to his blazer and he pulled out probably about 3 grams of weed, and I was just like, oh, you gotta sort me out sometime. So there was this time where me and Charlie both wanted to get some, so I hit him up and he's like, yeah, just come across the street and meet me at my house. And this place is not the nicest of places either, because most places where you can get it in the UK is not the nicest of places.
Yeah, they're pretty much shitholes.
Yeah, so for example, he has a bed in his front garden, just a mattress, and it's rotting and everything is disgusting. But so we meet him and he's just going through this list of people that he can get it off, and bearing in mind not one of these guys do like the best stuff, like they were all just mediocre, not great stuff, but it's still at full price at £10 a gram, which is how much it is in the UK. So we hit up a couple guys and none of them were answering their phone, and we go to a few houses around the area and we knock and no one's answering, so we're kind of out of luck at that moment. And he was like, oh, we could go to this person that I know, but they live quite far away and they live in town. Bearing in mind that town is probably about 3 miles from where we were at the moment, so it was getting late and we was like, no, we don't want to go all that way just to like get it for our first time. Are you sure there's no one that you know around here that we could get it off? So we end up getting lucky in the end, because one of the people that he was talking to us about drove past on his bike. We managed to pick up a decent amount, like a tens piece, and it was like a decent amount in the bag. But the guy insisted on rolling it for us and like having some with us, and we was really not up for that because we just wanted to do it ourselves for the first time. So we get this stuff and we go back to my house and we smoke it, and bearing in mind it was a great time, because it was our first time, we didn't know what it was like. It probably weren't the best stuff, and now that I know, it was terrible stuff. And the most about the high that we got was some low eyes and a couple of giggles from a South Park episode of a giant whale in front of the screen. So yeah, that was probably the main highlight of that first time, but it just weren't a good experience, to be honest. But yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching. It's been our first video. I'm sorry that it's quite long in length, but the next ones will be quite shorter because this is just us introducing ourselves. And yeah,
we've got a lot of good stories to come, so make sure to subscribe.
And yeah,
See you guys later.